What's going on, family? How y'all doing out there? This is episode 25 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon. And Mr. What's Good is always, he gonna be Mr. Late because he always late. But we got a doctor in the house because we got Luke in the building.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Man, we on what they calling it, election eve right now.
Indeed. And looking to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna give y'all our predictions. We're gonna actually finally say who we think winning this race today. But as we always start off, what's going on? How you feeling, Luke? And how your weekend been? First
Shoot, man.
profit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been good. It's been good. Got a little extra degree added on. Give me a little oomph. And went through a look. Went through some classes this weekend. Overall, great weekend. Spent time with my daughters. Um, just moving, enjoying life right now. But it's Monday, man, and now that the weekend and playtime is over, we been getting to it, man. Woke up this morning and my mind was fresh. Well, I woke up in my right state of mind and I was ready to get that money. You hear me? So it's been good, bro. Monday been nice. Chicago been interesting in the weather. It rained a little early today, then it was cloudy. Now it's clear. Feel like summertime downtown right now. The way the people are out and moving around. So just looking to get the week started off well with another great episode 25. How was yours?
uh, well, yesterday somebody hit my car. All right, let
Oh.
me get this off real quick before we really start. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta, and I don't know why don't nobody know how to drive. But please, I really want y'all to learn how to drive down here in the South because somebody hit my car. It was a hit and run, and the person didn't even have no insurance. So it's looking. My car looked toe up. I was gonna show the picture on the podcast, but I'm like, that's okay. I ain't gonna do that to myself. I'm already living through it. I don't want y'all to live through it with me.
Hey, I was surprised you said anything. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna be like, well, he probably ain't gonna say nothing about that. That
No,
was a hit.
man, that was my weekend.
Dang,
And
man.
Israel, lucky he late, because I know what he was doing this weekend. He lucky he late, because that he got snitched on. So that's okay. I'm gonna leave that alone right now. I'm gonna leave that alone right now until he
If you
comes to the
want to see more,
podcast.
if you want to see what that's all about, you're gonna have to tune in into our soon to come our soon to come sponsor pages where you will be able to follow us and you will be able to contribute to our channel if you want to see more raw footage of what Solomon is talking about. We got to
Yeah, the
get
raw
that. Hey,
stuff coming.
we got to get them sites up for you all to be able to go. Soon we're gonna be getting Patreon up and going. And when you want to see crazy stuff, like when we really be going in the stuff we don't always say, Patreon is gonna be where we want a lot of people to go to and be able to support us as well and get the raw footage of it, bro. So look forward to that. Look forward to that. Pharaohs Podcast growing on.
We keep growing. We keep growing. Shout out to the members and the subscribers that is getting us close to our 100 subscribers. Okay, so we're going to do something special for the when we get to 100. We're going to do a random drawing. We're going to do a random drawing of um, for our subscribers, and you guys want to get a copy of my book. I am that. 45 words and affirmations. I will be doing a random picking of the subscribers, and then you guys are gonna have to tell. So this is how you want to get picked. All right, I'm actually just this. This is new. We ain't even discussed this. Me and Luke and Israel, we ain't discussed this yet. But I'm gonna say it right now, and then you just tell me if you like it or not, Luke.
Right.
I'm going to do a. You got to give me your favorite moment of these last of the podcast, of the Pharaohs Podcast. Give me your favorite moment of the podcast, and you gotta call in. You gotta give your favorite moment of the podcast. Let us know what it is to enter the drawing, the random drawing to get you a free book of I Am That 45 Words and Affirmations. When we get to the 100 subscribers, okay. So what you think about that?
I like that. I like that. So what if even they don't call it? What if even if they don't call it? What if it's a message or they email
They
us?
can definitely send a message in. So you can
All right.
definitely email us
With your
Why I
favorite
don't have
clip. Yeah.
why I don't have hold on, give me a second.
Oh, you
Yeah,
ain't got
definitely give us your favorite. Yeah, why don't I have that? We would like for you to call in, but if you don't, it's okay too.
Yeah, definitely
Because
preference
you can
calling.
go.
We've been looking for more people to call in. We love to call in. If you got something to say, you want to speak your mind, you want to go in on Israel, call in. Hey, we finna mess with Israel till he get here, yo. We gonna mess with Israel.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's our email
You
right
can
there,
also
family.
email us.
Yeah.
You can also email us at the Pharaohs Podcast at gmail.com to enter for the free book. You're gonna get a free book. We're gonna do what number you want to say? How many people?
Let's do two. Want to do two people?
Two. I was gonna
Two
do three,
lucky.
but I mean,
Three sound better. A little bit more
okay,
completed with three. Little Trinity going on there.
okay. So email us, or also, like I say, when it comes to Ask the Pharaohs, call in, and the way you gotta call in, you gotta also comment. So make sure you comment. Let us know, your favorite moment from the podcast so far, and three lucky winners will receive a free autograph because I'm gonna sign it. So free autograph book. I Am That 45 Words and Affirmations. I will give you guys those books when we get to 100 subscribers.
That
So that's
sounds
cool.
good. Don't miss out on that opportunity. We
All right.
appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. I've been enjoying this journey. It's been enjoying from the first subscriber. We've been excited. We've been excited because we know that you can do you can be doing anything with your time on Mondays or even when you at work and listening. But we appreciate you all listening. We trying to create a community or something that we doing on our own. Being positive. We always positive over here. We always trying to spread information and just have conversations. So, what Solomon is introducing is a way for us to just show that appreciation from going to one, and we getting closer and closer to 100. We don't take that lightly over here. We really appreciate you all.
Definitely. Oh, right off the top too, right? Hey, I don't know what's going on in the water down here in Atlanta.
You ready?
But the next man who called me handsome, hey, we gonna have to fight. We gonna have to fight, man, because it's really blowing me. Like, like I'm cool because I'm like, okay, I'm a man. I know, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. But the next grown man, period. The next grown man who call me handsome, we gonna have to talk. We gonna have a fight or something. Cause like I don't know, man. What's going on down here in Atlanta, bro? What y'all on? What y'all on? I'm not on. Okay.
I'm gonna pray your strength.
I want to get that clear. What y'all on? I'm not on.
Pray your strength, man. Yeah, man. It's been an interesting few weeks, man. I mean, unless they gonna build a statue of you or something like that, you know, don't call me handsome. I branded you. Unless there's a statue and it's like, hey, that's a handsome statue of you right there. Like, dude, I'm cool on the compliment. I appreciate it. I would prefer to hear that from the.
Well, what we do know ain't a handsome statue is DeWayne Wade.
Hey, that's Morpheus.
That's what we do know. That ain't.
That's Morpheus when they had Morpheus in that building and they had some things on his eyes. If you look at that statue, what's that man's name? Real name? Philip? What's his name? Wilmore or something? Man, that is not DeWayne Wade. They put a whole nother face on that statue. Go in on it, Solomon. Go in on it. Go in on it, man.
So okay. Now this is a question I definitely want to ask y'all, but I'm gonna ask you, Luke, because you here. Now this is DeWayne Wade has finally. Can you hear me? Okay, so DeWayne Wade has finally submitted his legacy as one of the top shooting guards of all time. He's a Hall of Famer. He is a multi-NBA champion. He is a multi-all-star. He has been on NBA first teams. He has really submitted his legacy when it comes to his career in the NBA. And this is what they showed to celebrate him. This is what they showed. Do this look like him? Like honestly.
Somebody got hired for that job because of the way it couldn't have been skilled. Because we've seen too many great statues. You can go walk to your library, you'd be like, I know who that is. This looks like a rushed job to me, like somebody rushed, and I'm surprised he approved of it. I would have said no. It's my legacy.
Yeah, that's crazy too. He approved of it too. That I was what?
If you got a artist, I grew when I was in high school. For all the viewers that don't know, I was in an art school, and one thing the people who used to be into like drawing, they were always like in their own group and stuff. But some of them I was cool with, I was a musician, so we had our own groups. But they used to always say one thing, and I immediately thought about it. Mind you, 10 years out of being out of high school, I thought about what they said. If you have to squint your eyes and look turn your head to find out who the statue is, it's not a good job. They used to say this all the time. They used to say you didn't do a good job on presenting the person. It's supposed to be something you see and you say, I know who that is. It's the same thing if somebody got a tattoo. You got to squint your eyes and turn your head to figure out who that is. Don't go back to that tattoo artist. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah, that I don't know why. I'm just one more time. I gotta share this because this is crazy. Like, it don't look like him at all, and he really sat there, bro. Like at the unveiling, he really sat there and then did the pose with the statue at the same time, and we like it still don't look like you. Like that's
the only thing they had to get right on this was the face. The body doesn't matter because it's an athletic body. It has to be somewhat like his, but the face is just the mouth seems it just all looks rushed. It looks either rushed or just not the best artist came through. And I would have been like, please give me one more day or give me another week before we unveil this. Mind you, this is your legacy. Like you stated before you even start talking about it, you named all of these hardworking attributes that he did as a man, as a black man, as somebody contributing to society in a positive way by entertaining people all over the world. That's what y'all gonna give him? Come on.
That
He could have
was
been a drug dealer. He could have been anything. He decided to go play basketball. Y'all gonna give him this statue. Bro, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, 2024, man.
somebody definitely say he looked like Morpheus too, though.
Yeah,
Somebody
that's
said
I
that
stole
too.
it from.
It
No,
was so many
I heard it on
jokes.
the news.
Like
I
the
heard it.
memes just kept coming. Man.
He kind of did though when the news put it side by
Um,
side.
somebody said they had a point in talking about the statue. They were saying like, well, maybe he could come at somebody, like this, like, okay, cool. Nah, it don't look like me, which he hasn't done. He hasn't publicly said it doesn't. But if somebody really was like on his case about the statue, he could tell somebody like, that's cool. It don't look like me, but you know exactly who it's supposed to be. And then hit him with the, now where's your statue? You think he should take that route?
Nah, I will be making
Because I
phone
still
calls.
would be like,
Yeah, I'll be making phone calls, Solomon. Only reason I say that, the problem with it, and it makes it worse, is his face is so distinguishable. If you was to see him in a crowd of 100 people, you would recognize him. His jawline, it has, you know what I'm like? Come on, bro.
yeah,
It's not even like
a particular face. Yeah.
that's why it makes it even more like we can't really g- give it that pass because you can really recognize him as a person, as a player, or like I say, you put him in a room with 100 people, it wouldn't take you long to recognize this guy out of a lot of other guys that's maybe athletic or his height. So the fact that y'all had probably months to do this statue and y'all could not get the most important thing, that dude got a certain jaw. You don't see none of that in the statue. That's why I said I would be upset because somebody paid for that and they got a product that to me is not satisfactory in any kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, the sculpture it's so bad. Everybody was like, they immediately asked all the questions that we're talking about right now, Luke. Like, they got on DeWayne Wade. They said, this don't look like you. They got on the sculptor. They said, this don't look like him. And they're both like, they're both like, it is what it is type of energy. Like, everybody's asking for a redo. You think they should redo it? The face?
Yeah.
Like, at least like take the head off and then just put a new head on it?
Bro, did you heard all the stuff you just named in this man's legacy? Yes. This is one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Yes. If we got to keep looking at it.
You know what? When it comes to the shooting guard position, I don't know how you do like basketball, even though it's still football season. And I got on a baseball hat, which I did not watch this year. Which I ain't watched this year. But do you have like some from his position, because he played the shooting guard position? Do you have any favorites or like any top? Like, where do you think DeWayne Wade ranks when it comes to the shooting guard position?
I wouldn't say I really have too many favorites, and I can appreciate his position in mastering that position again because I look at positions in basketball like degrees. You know, each player, if they're in a degree, if they're in a position, they're trying to master it and become the best version of they can. So when we was younger, when we thought of center, we thought of Shaq. We thought of big guys. It was like an image that they were creating. I wouldn't so much say that with Dwayne Wade. I always acknowledge him being a smaller guy. So he to me was always a person moving, doing a lot of movement.
Yeah, one of his nicknames when he first became in the league, he was Flash. He was fast.
So automatically stuck out to me as a younger guy. When we've been watching basketball for a while, but that stuck out a lot because he's doing a lot of movement. Not one of the biggest guys, but it wasn't just that for me. It was the connections. To me, he took his career and did what a lot of players sometimes don't do, which is build on different sides of it, and then the connections with certain players he was having. To me, it just made him such a great person to come to the table and market. If he was trying to switch teams, if he was trying to get more endorsements, I always look at stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking at how you play, but the NBA is a business. They're looking at how you market yourself, how you carry yourself. Are you a team leader? Are you a team follower? Are you number one man or are you number two man? So I always acknowledge that. You know, you can get into his personal stuff now. I never really cared about stuff like that. It ain't got nothing to do with how you play. We can have that conversation, but nah, dude, like I say, to me is one of the top NBA players in our generation, and has been holding it down. So I say I don't know why they gave him no dang on statue like that.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm happy that he got one. I don't know if they have any other statues in Miami. Maybe DeWayne Wade is the first because I think he definitely earned it though. Like that was that pose is like he's saying this is my house, and
It's my home, right?
yeah, and they called it Wade County. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
When you
his when he was playing. Man, it was top tier. One
when
of the
you
best
think of
shooting
the
guards of all time.
right, you thinking of him. You think I like that. I think that's always important when you trying to entertain a nation. We talk a lot on this channel about building a nation and sustaining and dealing with politics and all that. But entertaining the nation is a very valuable key because you have to have things for the people to do when they depress from hard work or when they're trying to enjoy themselves. And if you don't, it's another recipe for mischief. So to be able to have a flagship of your city from your hard work that you did, I'm never making small or anything like that. Like I say, you could have did anything. But if you're gonna represent somewhere and be one of the top, players, some argue all time, but I would say definitely one of the top in the NBA at this time. Hey, salute to you. Salute to you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna give I'm gonna say my top three shooting guards of all time. Well, number one, of course, is gonna be Michael Jordan. Number two is I'm gonna always be Kobe Bryant, and number three, with the number he wear, is going to be Dwayne Wade. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
I figured.
my
Hey, they finna blow you up, so I just want you to know I wasn't finna go down that rabbit hole, but they finna. So I just, Solomon know what he doing, y'all. See, he trying to hit me with that. You see that debate has caused so much, bro. But I understand. Understand. I
Listen,
understand.
I'm a daredevil. Okay, look, I'm gonna take that risk. So anybody who want to challenge me on the podcast, y'all can call in and ask and talk about who your top three shooting guards of all time. I just gave you man, and my list not changing because you can't. Who you gonna knock off that list and put? Who you gonna knock off that list and put? Come on,
Comment,
my
comment,
top
comment,
three, top
comment.
three.
And if you watching
Y'all
this,
go ahead and
and if you
comment. Top three.
yeah, if you watching this and if you got some buddies that would disagree, send it over, share it, let them know. Go in, tell them to go in.
I want them to because they can't prove me wrong. Not on my channel. Anyway. Let's get to the next thing. The next topic, y'all. Well, tomorrow is official election day. It's officially here. We done talked about it at length and everything. But Luke, guess what? Guess this is something that I didn't even know what's even going on until I had to look this up. And that is that it's tied right now. This is
Talking
this
about
is
what?
the official numbers for today. This is the official numbers for today. Is it showing you the 24 election?
Yeah, it's showing. It's showing. Yeah, it's a close one.
So
It's usually
it's a
like
close
this.
one right now
Yeah.
of the November 4th, which is today, this Monday. It's tied right now. So what you think about that? And let's get into that discussion. Because we gonna do a bold prediction. We gonna say who actually gonna win it today. I'm ready to say who's gonna win it. So go ahead, Luke. Let the people know. Basically, first of all, what you think about it being tied right before the day of the election, and bold prediction who you see winning this election.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's a close election. I'm not surprised that it's tied. It's usually like this. It's usually like this right before. Tomorrow the swing states are really gonna determine this, man. And I'm not surprised it's neck to neck. Um, and I've actually literally I was telling Solomon earlier, one of my passengers, he was working for the Harris campaign, and he said the same thing. He was saying how it's gonna be a real close one, for what they see. But my bold prediction, with my bold prediction has it's always been obvious that my bold prediction would be that Trump is gonna win. Um, and I'm kind of doubling down on it, even seeing how close this is, because even though it's close, it's just giving me such Hillary versus Trump vibes. And the vibes started out earlier, but it just seems like it's almost like deja vu now. Same thing with like Solomon is saying. Day before, tied. A lot of people was looking, and really a lot of people was thinking Hillary was gonna win. But I just feel like with this campaign, it's kind of already been signed, sealed, delivered. Everything else that happens it's just not really gonna affect it too much. I mean, especially since how we a day before. So my bold prediction: Donald J. Trump will be the next president of the United States. Between what they say is 40 something. It's been so many of them. He gonna be probably the next one. Now, my Eddie Griffin finna come out, so I want y'all to be prepared, okay? Because a lot of y'all gonna be like, "What is you talking about, Luke?" And one thing that a very wise man, my grandfather, very wise man, he passed away many years ago on my mother's side. He's always reminded me it's better to know the evil in front of you than not know the evil. So I understood what he meant by that. And when I look at this election, that's the vibes it gives me. People are too uncertain about the Harris campaign. And then it seems like more information that comes out even brings more about uncertainty. Prime example, Candace Owens went on a whole campaign on trying to figure out, was Kamala Harris black? And you can say, well, what does that really matter? It actually does matter because the Harris campaign made that a part of their strategy. Her being a black woman raised by her mother, hardworking mother with her sister. We all know the story. We heard it at least 100 million times. But it's not. It did even Candace Owens. Literally, if you go look it up on YouTube, I would love for her to one day come and join this podcast. Shout out to Candace Owens. We may get her on here one time. But she did a very in-depth investigation on Kamala Harris' background as a family. And it's like, if you're able to lie about who you are, and she was doing a lot of lying. And even her own family is like, we don't know why she lying. This is just who she is. She's saying she black, but she really not black. She more Indian or whatever. You can get into that whole argument on, oh, well, Indian people was the black people, whatever. But it's the way that she comes off. And real people don't like that. They don't like hearing you change your accent every single time you try to appeal to people, because then they feel like you're somebody that's just trying to, get through the motions of making them feel like you care. And I think that was one of the biggest downfalls of her campaign, including Joe Biden. Oh my gosh. And I'm about to turn it over to you, Solomon, but I'm going to leave it here. Another reason I feel Trump is going to win is because Joe Biden has helped Trump in this campaign so much. From the gas, from the crazy comments President Joe Biden has made, it's like it almost feels to me as like he's trying to sabotage Kamala Harris's campaign because he was taken down from the nominee pick. So it's been a very interesting campaign to me. But it just looks turmoil over there, bro. So what you think about it? What's your bold prediction, Solomon, and how you feel about the election being so close the day before?
All right, so I was thinking, right, like, is there actually a reason why this should be a landslide either way? And to be honest, I'm gonna say no. Now, even though on the podcast, like we say, we don't really try to force anybody to vote either way. We're just having our predictions. And I know a lot of people have already early voted, especially down here in Georgia. They was pushing that very, very hard. But even though Trump, I thought it just looks like that's what America wants. He made a lot of blunders too, especially some of his things like them eating the pets, which went viral, and everybody had a joke about. Something as recent where he was talking about, the Puerto Ricans kind of pushed some of those people like away from him, maybe towards Kamala.
You talk about the comedian that was talking about the Puerto Rican.
Right. But then he's
Right.
kind of like said something like behind it or whatever. It wasn't like, they didn't really like it basically because it was coming from his camp. So they just like, so kind of some people of color have been turned away, of course, because of Donald Trump. It's always been like that. I have been propagated. I don't even know if that's the word, of how much they down here in the South, you got everybody saying that Donald Trump should win. You got everybody saying that Kamala could win, but then they just had this one last. To go to your point, Luke, about DeWayne Wade's personal life when it came to his son, that's now his daughter. They just did a campaign, literally, I think last week, of Charlemagne the guy from the Breakfast Club asking Kamala about the sex change operations that taxpayer dollars is paying for everybody, including people in prison. And Charlemagne was like, I don't want that. Why would I want my tax dollars paying for that? And I think that has like, I want to say maybe the nail in the coffin of her presidency potential. So I'm going to boldly predict that, this is why I wish Israel was here, that Donald Trump is going to win, because I'm pretty sure he might pick Kamala. I don't know. But yeah, I think that he's going to win this election. And it's just off of that last push that they just did that kind of was like, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all, we paying for sex changes? Our American dollars is paying for transgender surgery. No,
In
I'm
prison.
good.
Yeah, in prison.
I'm a pass. And that's what was going on. So that's gonna be my bold prediction. We're gonna find out tomorrow exactly, who wins the election. But I was talking to some people, and I'm gonna be honest, and I know, ladies, and a lot of the women who's listening to us and watching us, I just don't know if the country as a whole, because remember, y'all, in order for things to come into reality, we have to have the same wavelength of consciousness. We have to be on the same type of frequency and timing to see a Black woman be ahead of us. And it's okay that a lot of women are backing her, as they should. There's a lot, and it is very okay and very well that a lot of women of color and other ethnicities is it's backing her. That is perfectly, totally fine. But remember when we had the discussion about a couple episodes ago about Obama saying that black men aren't backing her, it's not because she's a woman. And I don't believe the country as a whole, white, black, Hispanic, Indian, native, indigenous, whatever you want to call it, is in the same mindset of making the black woman their president today. Now, it might happen the next term. I think Kamala might she should give it a try again if she wants to. But I don't think this time the world is like, or the country is like, yeah, let's give the black woman a chance right now. There's war going on. And this is what I mean by like black people need to open their perspective of what's going on and like around the world. Yes, there's an election year for us, but right now we still beefing with China. Okay, right now there's still a war in Ukraine, Russia. We still got Putin on our back. Iran just shot missiles at Israel. You think this is a good time for a black woman to come in and try to fix that? Or like not fix it, but put her perspective on it? I don't think so. I believe that the country is going to say a white man is going to try to help us again. I think that's the mindset.
Well, I agree with you, Solomon, but I think it's even deeper than that. It's not as if we're talking about a black woman that has not had power. She has been second in command to the most powerful military in the world, can blow up everybody. And then not only that, she's second to someone who is getting older and cognizance is declining. So you actually have more power than most people in second in command. Not my words, but hers, because like she would say, I would be the last person in the room with President Joe Biden. So you've had 4 years of power. You've been in this. And this is why a lot of black people, I think, are having a hard time with it, because we know how to call BS. One thing I've learned, when you send a oil rig guy, you gonna get a white guy, you're gonna get a black guy, you're gonna get some Asian guys, a Mexican here or two, a Hispanic guy here or two. Well, all of them going in there to make $100,000 a year. They become very good friends while they at work because they're all there to make a lot of money. This is where common sense started kicking in to me for the black community. Why are we holding our hands together and then just jumping in the water and acting like we can't swim? And us being a demographic that usually gets the boot of everything, that really hurts us. We have oil here that we're not drilling. Kamala will not drill it. She said it herself. She switched and said she wasn't, but we know 9 times out of 10, she's going to ban fracking. She's going to stick to these type of policies, which is going to cripple our economy even more. Black people are more politically intelligent. We are not, and this is the thing that the Democratic Party was having a hard time understanding. Why are they getting so smart? Because we watched someone who looked like us have power for 8 years, and we understood what the real game is. It just is what it is. Now we can't play checkers as a black community. You have to play chess in America if you're going to survive. And right now, the chess moves is what's determining the best for our children, our communities. Y'all talking about putting tampons in boys' bathrooms, and you want fathers, black fathers, to be okay with that? Come on, you know that's not going to happen. They may not say it publicly, they may not say it online, but their vote is going to speak for it. And this was why I think it's like, this is why I have to go with Trump. These are common sense things that the black people, we are not savages. We are not nasty people. We are not people who don't know how to take care of ourselves. We've been taking care of ourselves, and we taught other people how to take care of themselves. So when we see a candidate that is doing things that hinder our finances, our development, we have to live in this country too. We have to be here too and deal with it. We don't want to cripple ourselves in time of war and chaos when we don't have to. It ain't got nothing to do with her being black. It's about who making more sense with what they say they're gonna come in and do. And then both now we're talking about two candidates that have both had power. When Trump was in office, sometimes I always ask myself if COVID didn't hit, I kind of imagine where we would even be then. Because we were doing pretty well. Life was just kind of carrying on. So we did have to go through things with COVID, but if COVID didn't hit, who knows where the economy be? But people are very unhappy, especially black people, especially minority people. They're unhappy because they cities are flooded with other people and they ain't even able to get no help. And take this from somebody who gives to the black community. I know this for a fact. When I go to the food shelter, when me and my partner go to pick it up, you see everybody in there except for us, the people who need it the most. But get this, the food shelter is in the actual black community, passing out food to other communities. So people, we gonna feel some kind of way. Policy makes more sense to us because we don't want to be the last ones getting the crumbs of the bread. And on this podcast, we went in on Obama because he thought he was gonna check us, but we ain't no simps, we ain't no wimps. We know what we need. We
Exactly.
grown men, women. Real. Go ahead, take it away. My rant is over. I ain't
Exactly.
saying nothing else until after tomorrow.
And so, like I say, going back to my prediction, I just wanted to say, like, it isn't because she is a woman. It isn't because that she is, as they say, black. She just, at this moment in time, I don't believe collectively as a country, everybody is saying, let's move towards the black lady. No, I don't. The women are saying it, but collectively, as everybody is everybody saying it, and I haven't heard that. And I don't want people to have their feelings hurt over this election.
It just scared me.
It's gonna be something that's going on for 4 years because especially if Trump wins, it's a quick 4 year because he already did already four. So this is the second term. He only get two. So whoever is panicking, like if Trump does win and they're panicking, thinking that the world is over, it's not. Calm down. I know people are talking about, a lot. I've seen a lot of ads as well during the campaign season. Like I said, I got flooded with it down here. Of he's just doing the tax breaks for his wealthy friends and the rich, and that's why Elon Musk is backing him and all of these things like that. And Kamala is trying to do the tax breaks for the working class middle Americans. I get it, but at the same time, don't you think they both want to do the same? Like when it comes to that, it's both of them doing that. Like,
And to me, that makes me feel
what
that
you
made
say?
me feel like whoever say that might not even looked at the tax plan. You got to go and read both of their tax proposals. Trump tax proposal is very beneficial for hard working people as well as wealthy people. It's a it's not like one of those things where it's a secret. Like they always write out the proposal, and of course it has to be passed by Congress. But
Well, what
his
about all the people who talk about the Project 25 though, Luke? Because they're gonna say when it come to the Project 25, like, no, he really trying to just give all the money back to the rich people because he's rich, and that's it.
it's one thing if they talk about it, but if you use it in a political warfare, you got to go back and sit with the children's table. Project 25 is not strong enough to make a political argument. What's strong is what goes through Congress. What's strong is what determines if we can make a right at a red light or not. Because if you make a right at a red light and they say no red, no right, you're gonna get a ticket. That's what again, we grown now. We've come out of that idle mindset, which is usually around 16 to in the early 20s, where everything sounds possible. And then now a lot of us are growing up and we're seeing what's more probable. These things, these plans that she's proposing, some are good, but some I don't care for too much because I think it's going to put us in a position to where we're not able to be able to constantly sustain it. And especially if you're going to squeeze our resources. That to me is scary. Why squeeze what's under our feet, but we go buy it from everybody else? Now I feel like I'm just a sucker, and I don't want to go
So
and
they
do the hard
saying that
work.
there's going to be taxes on all of the imports, of course, from all of the foreign countries, especially China. This is Trump's plan, or the so-called Republicans. They're backing this. Like, let's make sure that we constantly get what they feel like we've been missing over the years when it comes to our foreign policy and exchange and things of that nature. Um, like I say, when it comes to the economic plan, they keep trying to divide it as though Kamala's for the everyday person and then Trump is only for the wealthy. And I don't see that. I think that's for one of his plans that I actually was listening to when he got elected was him creating more jobs for America. Like, all just American. We're going to build and have the ideas for Americans, and we're going to pay the American people. That was something I actually thought was a great plan back in, what was that, 17? 16 going into 17. So it was like, I said, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Why not try to put the power back into America? I think that's what everybody keeps missing. I think that's why when they did the, Make America Great Again, everybody's just like, oh, he's just racist and all this. Everybody's racist. Like, when you really think about it, a lot of these people, presidents, they just did not say it to you. We were in an age of social media. Obama wasn't even on Twitter like that. I don't think, like you got to really think about these things. Like, okay, he was more inclined to say something idiotic out loud. How many things that Biden has said idiotic and y'all ignored? And and it kind of sounds like I'm on Trump's side, but we just giving y'all the predictions of what we think. We could be totally wrong. Tomorrow could be Kamala Harris celebration and she whoops Trump in the election. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't know. This is just our predictions on the Pharaohs Podcast.
Well, I always try to.
I don't want people to act crazy.
Yeah, and I just try to say what the people say. We only three people, but I mean we share this country with other people. We pay taxes. We do all that. So it's like I listen to what the people have to say, and it like you said, it's close. It's neck and neck. It just seems like the reason I think I don't know if you got a chance to catch it, Solomon. Donald Trump was one of the first Republicans to go like to the barbershop, and they did like a whole interview with him at a barbershop in New York. And one of the guys asked him a question. He was like, man, he was like, how do you feel about taxes? He said it feels like we're being taxed to death. We're being taxed when we make money, when we spend money. And I think that interview he did really hit hard for a lot of people because that's like one of those conversations that kind of gets thrown around if it comes up. We know taxes is something that was once found out how lucrative it is when it became essential to the government. It wasn't a big part of the plan when they were creating this system and this country. Oh, we didn't know we can make that much money by taxing everybody instead of just the rich. So when a black man was asking him this question, he was speaking from an attribute of just being somebody who was here buying, spending money. We work hard, we do things to contribute to this country as well. Why does it feel like so much of our money is taken away and then not given back to us in the things that we need? And this is why I feel like this is what I feel like was the real issue for everybody. We all can relate to that because we all here together. Asians, Indians, everybody, all of us out here, we can relate to giving somebody some money and not getting the same treatment back. And when Donald Trump went in on the World Health Organization and when he went in on the national organizations for making us pay majority of the bill, we were quiet. We like, shoot, go in. That's less taxes on us. That's less money we gotta spend. So it's hard to fight against that. If somebody is fighting for you to have more money in your pocket, I'm still trying to figure out when I'm supposed to eject. I don't know what to say. Like, what am I supposed Solomon, for real? Like, what are you supposed to say to that? Like, nah, I don't,
I mean,
I want to pay more taxes. I like paying a lot of, don't nobody like
well,
paying a whole bunch of,
that's what they're saying that he is saying though. They are saying in these campaigns that Trump is going to squeeze more from the working person. But it's like I say, I was talking to a guy, one of the riders in my Uber, and I had told him we was talking about it, and I was saying like, hey, we don't know who's lying to us until they actually go through office. We don't never have like a pre-trial to see if this person is actually going to tell us the truth and actually help us fix the country. We never find out until 4 years after. So we just deal with the mess. Like, it feels like since I was born, when I was actually paying attention, I'm gonna say that was like George Bush Jr. when I was paying attention. Before that was Bill Clinton, I believe, right? So I wasn't really of age. But since George Bush up until now, it just seemed as though we have constantly been trying to restructure and rebuild the country after every single president. I don't think we've ever had a president come in and be like, I'm going to pick up where our previous president left off and build off of that. It's always something about changing something from the previous 4 years or the previous 8 years. So we don't know who's lying. We don't know who's telling the truth until 2028. We gonna find out if Donald Trump was lying or if Kamala Harris was lying. That's what we're gonna find out. We don't know. There's no pre-trial. Now I know a lot of people be talking about Harris because she was with Biden. So it's like, why she ain't make these changes already? That's a good question. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. That is a really good question.
she said she was the last person in the room with big decisions. She said she said she was always by his side. These not our words, these hers. Like, I ain't make her say, I don't even know it. Shoot. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll be having these conversations with my pastors too, Solomon. And I'll just be sometimes like, I don't know what you want me to say when someone is telling you what happened. You got to take them for what they giving you at the moment. Now, that's why I say I wonder how it would have been if COVID didn't come. COVID really overshadowed his whole presidency to me. The first 2 years were smooth. I remember them gas prices. But when COVID hit, it was like you kind of just threw all of that out the window because everybody went into survival mode. So I think that's another thing Trump is probably, it feel like some old man proving himself type thing going on here. Like, if I can get in here when the whole world don't be seeming like they about to explode, maybe I'll be appreciated a little more, or maybe I'll be seen to be what I thought I was before. Because 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna have another COVID within this 4 years. So if within the first 2 years, we'll know if we're really on a good track. We'll know if we see these jobs opening up again. Fuel. If he opened up them pipelines, yeah, that money about to start flowing. Y'all know oil is a very big commodity in the world. And if we can keep from having to buy oil from other countries, that's more money we're able to put towards stuff that we need. Again, Luke is not talking from somebody who's not trying to fight for his own policy in the city of Chicago. I'm fighting for money too. So I know that this is real. When they're talking about the little dollars that they save, it trickles down into the community projects that we're trying to put on, and it adds to the budget we have. But when we're getting squeezed for unnecessary money, that's like if somebody in your house going to buy outside food and you got a whole pantry full of food. It's gonna hit you at the end of the month. It's gonna hit you. So
Well, Well, we do need a overflow. We definitely need to make sure we got the money because we got the same old debate, Luke, that has been constantly hitting us this year. And
Let's
that
go into it.
debate has been, should men pay all of the bills? And it's like, man, we talking about this again. All right, so family, title of this episode is Alpha or Beta because we need to establish what an alpha male and a beta male is because we got two men who took the time out to have a small little debate. It wasn't really a debate to me; it was more like a conversation. Of Yada Awakening and Anton Daniels. These two black men have been a social media presence, and this gonna be a little bit of something because it was so long I could only do just this bunch. So I'm a kind of play some, cut it, play some, cut it. So y'all follow us along, family. This was an interesting topic. All right, so this comes from the Hardly Initiated podcast. And let's see if we can hear it.
When you're leaving.
Off the chain.
Now, what's the question, brother? What's the question?
The question is,
What's the question?
should men be expected to cover
We got it? We good?
100% of the bills?
I believe if men are claiming to be providers, and we know that means to take care of whoever's under you, that he should provide 100%. While we're doing this, this gives the woman time and space, not just to be great for the man, but also great for the children. And I want to use myself for example. I provide 100% for my woman. My son, he's only 5 years old, and he was tested 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. 2 days ago, he's only in kindergarten, but he tested at a 4th grade level. Why is that? Because I handle my responsibility, providing, and providing isn't just financial. Any man off the street can walk to a woman and give her money. Providing is elevating a woman mentally, elevating a woman spiritually, emotionally. This is what it means to provide for a woman. Not just here's some money, run off with it. No. Let me elevate you. Let me bring you closer to your God. Let me set standards in your life. If your father gave you to me, you are my responsibility from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. I'm going to love everything about you 100%. And if I can't do that, I'm not a man. I'm a male.
Do you want to see how much money you're eligible for?
I don't know how we got a commercial. That was crazy. He stopped for a second right there. So just off of where we starting off with, because it's gonna get spicy. It's gonna continue to get. It's gonna continue to get good because this was a really nice little back and forth between these two brothers. What we at with Yada's stand so far, Luke? What you think just off that little clip so far?
What you mean? What you asking me? You say where we at with his stance?
Yeah, with his stance so far, like what he already been saying so far.
I mean, when I looked at the debate, I watched probably about half of it. And I've listened to both of the brothers' content, the guy he was debating as well. I think you and I talked about this earlier this week, Solomon. I think Yada issue in the debate, and the reason he looks to kind of come in as the inferior one in the debate is because the perception of where he's coming from is a longer process than what it feels like the topic is. Like, to me, it feels like Yada is going through the aspect of talking to a man who doesn't have a woman or married, doesn't have any children, is fresh in life, and he's giving him the perspectives of what to work towards. The other guy seems to be talking about men who are actually in the dating market, looking to find women, courting women, and what their standards and how they should present themselves should be. So it kind of feels like a weird debate to me. It feels like two different topics almost, because I mean, I know y'all can come off like one of those guys, all his women, when he say, oh, I take care of everything, but I'm a witness his wife works. She works on her own business. She got her own um um birthing doula business. And the only reason I know that for a fact is because I actually hired her for one of my children. So it's like I get what he means. It's like while she's able to take time to work her business, he's probably providing most of the funds for living and food and housing and things like that. And then the other guy is coming in and saying, hey, don't have a standard about yourself as far as a man. Your money shouldn't be the most valuable thing, and this, that, and the third. It just kind of feel like a weird argument to me. I feel like they're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna let it play some more. Because I was thoroughly entertained, especially when they started pulling out the Bible. That was it reminded me of the old days. Okay,
Yeah, that's what it feels like, the old argument versus the new argument. It almost feels like that.
Let's get back to it, family, because and when you got the time, check out this as well.
That's your one
Man,
track.
talk to me, brother.
No.
Talk to me, brother.
Nope.
Talk to me, brother.
That's not what we're going to do today.
Talk to me, brother.
So this is what we're going to do.
Talk to me, brother.
He's like Kamala Harris right now.
Talk to me, brother.
And I've heard all of these talking points.
Talk to
and
me.
I don't even study him because he says the same thing over and over again.
Talk to me.
You got to control yourself because that's not manly.
Talk to me, brother.
You got to control yourself.
Brother, talk to me, brother.
So you see how I was quiet when you were speaking?
No, you cut me off, but go ahead, brother.
I didn't say anything.
You got it. There you go.
I was quiet when you were speaking.
Go ahead, brother.
And so now we're going to add nuance. Now we're going to add context. So first thing we have to do is we have to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean to be a man? Because being manly has nothing to do with a woman. It has nothing to do with pandering. It has nothing to do with just providing. Being a man means being purposeful. That's what being a man is. That means that whatever it is that I seek from God, because my purpose is not a woman. A woman is a helpmeet. So when he panders to you guys, and ladies, remember, I don't know what he's selling. I don't know what product that he has, but my goal is to get you married. My goal is to have you married based off of what God says is sanctified, right? I don't want y'all divorced. I don't want you unequally yoked. I don't want you to be a single baby mama. I don't want you shooting your shot in the dark thinking that this guy is giving you insight when he's just giving you talking points with no real substance behind it. And here's the context. At what age do you want to be married? Do you put yourself in a position to find the person that's best for you? Has your father given you away? Does your parents actually see value in the person that is looking to marry you? And when you start to ask yourself these questions, and I don't speak to just rich people because we both have money, we both have resources. So let's remove that from the table. I speak to the majority, not the minority. And when you are 20, 21, 22 years old, especially if you are a person that's looking to become a man, you are supposed to fail in controlled environments, meaning that your father is not even supposed to give you everything. He's supposed to give you what you need in order to be successful. My father was able to buy me a car, but he told me that I had to earn it and work for it because I valued it more, which then extended to every single thing that I touch, including the woman. See, my wife is here. My wife travels with me. She knows me. She understands me, right? And so at 20, 21, 22 years old, you're supposed to be broke. Unless you're doing something that you ain't supposed to do in order to get it, you're supposed to be building. You're supposed to be understanding each other. It's a storming, a norming, a forming situation. And in no circumstance do you ever come into it fully understanding who the person is, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. And so when we start to look at what God has ordained to be great, the purpose of a man, it's not just to give spirituality and leadership. It's to understand. The first thing that the word says, in everything that you do, you get understanding. And everything you do, you get understanding. I don't even know her. I don't even know you. Everybody is out here dating, everybody running around, everybody doing everything. They're giving themselves to each other. We think that money or resources or what you can do or what you can offer a person is supposed to make up for all of the insecurities and the problems and the issues that you have in your childhood. What have you solved for?
Ooh.
Went in. He went in.
Brother was starting to go in.
He's going in, bro.
Brother
That's what I'm saying, Solomon. Like
was starting to go in.
How you feel? How you feel about what they talking about in this debate, man?
Okay, so they both were making some great points. Both of them together were making great points. Yada is speaking from the point of a man already made. Anton, to me, is speaking from a man who is growing into a made man. So what do I mean by that if I need to break that down? Yada is really speaking from him already being built. Now, a lot of people don't know the background of Yada Awakening. He was not as wealthy as he was before. This is new money from his grind and his perseverance and, of course, building himself. So he is coming now talking as Anton is saying, he's pandering. It's a lot of the social media movement too. He knows that is going to also continue to make him revenue and make him money to continue to be successful and him to continue to provide for his family. So that's where he's at. That's where he's talking from. Anton is saying there's more to marriage than what you can do, or a man can do for a woman, which I agree. Anton is coming from the things that you don't see, the in between, not the money and the resources of what is complete, but the things that you have to go through to be complete. Like I say, to be that made man. Both perspectives are great perspectives. But what I would say is the alpha of it is going to be Yada. He say he going to go in and take care of everything. And my wife going, she gonna relax. She gonna relax, and she gonna sit in her divine feminine energy.
Yeah, I think I gotta agree with you, Solomon. He take the alpha on that, and like I say, for me, it's kind of a biased one for me because when I sat across the table, I got a chance to meet Yada wife at what did we meet at? It was me and my daughter's mother. We met her and her sister for a consultation when we first started doing business. I didn't even think about Yada. When I was sitting across the table, they were well organized. You could tell this was something that they did. I never thought about, Yada is paying all the bills so she could be here. Mind you, they're charging us too. So for all I knew, that was her money, that she was making. And if Yada is taking care of all the bills, this is her money. She's out working her land while he's working his land. They meet at home at the end of the day, but I did understand even at the end, even that meeting at the end of the day, whose income is going to be the one. Kevin Samuels used to say, "Are you okay with being with the male taking care of the substantial amount of finances and bills?" I think that's the argument Yada is saying. He's just saying everything, but in reality, if you take care of 90%, you take care of everything, because that 10% is probably not going to be a make or break of your household and your family. So that's things from like the mortgage to the car payments to the life insurance. These are the big bills that are always coming every month. if you're okay, if your man is taking care of these life-changing bills, food in the house, all of these things, that is still to me kind of what Yada is saying. He's just very dramatic with saying everything. In reality, we know that you ain't gonna be able to do everything. And even if you are, there are gonna be some things you miss that your wife is supposed to catch. You know, I guess it just depends on the relationship. Cause I know some relationships, when the money come in, the wife has access to the money as well. So for some people, there is no constant conversation on, oh, can I get money to go grocery shopping? She just dips in and get the money that's needed. It doesn't matter that the man was at work and he made it and they directed. Who cares? They're a marriage. And again, both of these men are married. Okay, let's make this very clear. They're both married men. They're both successful men, and they're both men that have a high influence, and they're both business owners. Anton is into the restaurant field. Yes, he's done well on social media, but if you look into his background, he's a very well versed, educated black man when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. And he's has partnered with a lot of different people to help build them up. So he's not just somebody on here yapping his mouth like they don't know what they talk about. Yada was in the social media game before a lot of these guys came in, before there was a lot of money into it. And I had this conversation with Solomon. It wasn't about we weren't talking about women like that. Yada was talking about as a man, getting your health together, getting your body together, eating better foods, meditating. It really wasn't much about relationships. Yeah, he would touch on it every now and then on being a strong man, but in the beginning of his career, in my opinion, he was really pushing working on yourself. And when he was holding a lot of men accountable for, again, their body, it was big on health. So when Anton was saying in the interview, oh, well, he's made his career, like I said, I just had to disagree with that part, because it's like, not really. This is a new conversation. And this is before the manosphere, where men and before Kevin Samuels was big, Yada was teaching already. Kevin Samuels was teaching too, but Yada was in that Dr. Sebi area. He was dealing with that holistic health, and it contributed into your mental faculties as a man. This is when men healed ourselves and all that stuff started coming out. You remember Solomon? We was there. We was in the midst. We was in the streets.
Yeah,
with
we
him.
was. Yeah.
So it's like we speaking from experience.
We gonna talk about that too.
Oh, we got to. But like I say, I turn it back over to you. But when I sat across from Yada wife,
I got the video.
When I sat across from Yada wife, I never once in my mind thought about Yada. I thought about, this is a black woman who has her own business and is educated and know what she's talking about, because she definitely know what she's talking about. She gave me and my daughter's mother a vast amount of information that we never even knew, that helped us throughout the entire time, she was, throughout the 9 months of conception. So, I mean, I ain't think about Yada though. I just was like, hey, so I guess him working hard allowed her to be able to help us out. I don't know, man. To me, it seems like they both on the same side, just coming from a different area of perspective.
Well, like I say, I liked what really got me like, this is too funny, is when they started breaking down, what happened to Eve. The Bible.
I think Yada dropped the ball on that argument. I didn't like the way he was. To me, he's just too well versed. I'm like, I don't know if he's just rusty or something, but I'm like, the way he could have really broke that down to me could have been so much better. I don't know.
Yeah.
What you think?
What you think about that later? But so I feel like Anton was about to body bag his ass. I ain't even gonna lie, cause he know, like, it looked like he more like he's sharper in it, and Yada was kind of like spitting some stuff off the top of his head, like he forgot, like you say, kind of rusty. So I'm like, let's not go down this lane, fellas. Can we just go back to the question at hand? Like, should a man pay all the bills? And I'm gonna say, like I've always said, when you a king, when you at that level, it's okay. It's okay if a man is paying for everything because he can. You know what they like to say. It ain't tricking if you got it. So if you got it, to me it's okay. Do your thing. You know, make your woman as comfortable as she can be. I feel like,
yeah.
But I
Damn sure ain't
definitely
tricking if she
understand
your
where
wife.
Anton was coming from. Right. And I definitely understand where Anton was coming from, because Anton was like, yo, I'm trying to figure this woman out. Like, I'm trying to grow with her. Like, at 21 years old or 22 years old, and how am I saying this is my wife already? I can't even pay for the wedding. That's really where he was coming from. Like, I can't even get to the ring to give to her yet. Like, I gotta grow first as a man a little bit more before I say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the responsibility of being a husband to somebody. And then as I'm doing that, growing as a man, I'm understanding and I'm growing with this woman as she grows into a woman. So, like I say, like, he is coming from a perspective of a man trying to be a made man, and Yada is coming from a man who's already there. So that's how I looked at the argument back and forth. But yeah, definitely. Okay, family. I got one more clip to show. But y'all comment in the video, or hit us up for y'all perspective of what y'all believe that who won that really? Who is the alpha in that situation? Who is the alpha in that situation? Some people gonna say that Anton is the alpha in that situation because of his perspective of him wanting to grow and learn with a woman, and saying that his whole existence isn't to just take care of a woman. He has some great points.
Yeah.
But alpha men do. They operate at a different level.
It's almost like you would have to.
They don't care.
Yeah. You would have to turn a blind eye to some of the most prestigious men that have come through history, and the women didn't worry about things like that most of the time. I mean, let's even look at Donald Trump, since we just finished with that. You look at his wife. I mean, come on. At the level, once you get to a certain level financially as a man, there's no reason for that, and it starts becoming irrelevant for your wife to go out and work for somebody else. Now, unless she just really is into the craft. But I'm not a very wealthy man yet, and I could say wholeheartedly there was never a greater feeling in my body, my mind, and my soul than knowing that when my daughter's mother was making them basically over those 9 months, that I was able to ease her by providing things that I know she can provide on her own, but she don't have to. You can't beat that feeling as a father. So if Yada is coming from a father standpoint in that area of experience, I understand his passion. There is nothing greater than being able to say, baby, I appreciate you, but you ain't even got to do that. And then she go, oh my gosh, really? Well, you know what? We can do this now. Or we got extra money. Well, we can, I never made my daughter's mother feel like she couldn't work. There was times she did work part-time when she had jobs doing things. But she knew at the end of the day, if I don't go to work, if I can't work, I'm making a child. There's going to be a period of time where I'm down anyway. This is why I understand y'all's position. There is going to be a time when you have a family and you build a family where that woman is not going to be able to do what she normally does, especially if you're trying to have children. So I think he's trying to prepare people for that. But Anton is looking at it from a way before we even get all the way there. I'm not worth the dollar that I have. So I don't want women looking at me like, oh, he got money now, so he's worth it. Like, to me, they both were making very, very, very valid points. I think Yada lost the debate because I didn't like, his statue could have been better, especially when you're dealing with men and you're debating men. That's why I'm like, I don't know if he's just rusty or something like that, but the over talking and the repeating yourself, we don't do that. We don't do that. We shut up and we listen. And then we respond back. But it did make him look like he was losing the argument by over talking him. And these are things like of course we did this when
Yeah,
we
they
were
was in the
younger.
comment section talking about something. Why he yelling?
Yeah, like stuff like that, bro. I'm like, I get you being passionate, but it makes you look like you losing. You learn this in debating 101.
Okay, one last clip, and family, let's send out our prayers for Israel. He could not make the show today. He has some things going on personal, so just send positive energy. All right, I'm finished. This is something I've been want to talk about for a minute. For a quick, from a woman's perspective, for all of the women who are tuned into us to listen to this, real quick. Okay.
Dating options.
Yes.
What? That was such a quick answer.
I think social media has made people feel like everybody wants to date me. Do you see how many likes I got on my picture? Do you see how many people are in my DMs? But interest doesn't necessarily mean value. Just because someone is interested in you doesn't mean they necessarily value you, or they actually want to date you. They might just want to smash you. So if we're honest about what it is, most people are getting a lot of attention, but that doesn't mean that they're getting a lot of respect. And you've really got to be able to discern the difference. And until you do that, you'll have a super inflated sense of how many people want you and desire you. And the truth is, there aren't that many people that truly value you. They think they do.
Do you believe?
All right. I love this. I love this. And I'm going to start this off. Ladies, social media has pumped y'all heads up. And I need y'all to deflate it. Come back to regular reality and where y'all supposed to be. It's addicting. Social media has now gave people a voice that has never had a voice before. It's a good and bad thing. We're learning more. We are actually able to reach across the seas without actually going across seas to get types of ideology and thoughts and everything else that's going around the whole world. Okay, TikTok they want to ban TikTok because of some issue that they think is an issue, but there's also a lot of things you can learn on TikTok. We're on TikTok. Plenty of people that y'all seen go viral has been on TikTok. So social media has gave that voice, but also has given a lot of women a false sense of entitlement. Ladies, just because you got a lot of likes, as the woman said in the video, it's called It's Giving Podcast. Just because you get a lot of likes on social media does not mean that you are high valued. Now, remember we talked about this with Cam Newton and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. There's a difference when it's high value and high functioning and things of that nature. That's the words that she used. So just because on social media you have a lot of hearts and a lot of likes does not mean that those are really genuine. These are people who are coming into your life. They don't know you. They just be like, that look good. But actually valuing you is a total different thing. don't let social media give you this false sense of belonging and this false sense of entitlement, because it's fake. We're talking about what is value. It's after the likes. I've actually dated a woman off the internet before. We have that opportunity now. If a man really wants you after that initial like or heart or whatever, he gonna put some pressure in real life. Like, y'all gonna see each other in person. He gonna meet your family. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be a stand-up guy. He gonna be doing the steps to show you how valuable you are to him. But stop thinking that you can also talk to people and try to build a bond with somebody and then dismiss them and be like, well, I got 1,000 more people in my comments or my DMs or my, that do the reactions and likes and hearts on my stuff. Them people could be not for you at all, but that one person you disregarded because something maybe got a little tough in real life, instead of living on the internet, you discarding them thinking that you're going to pick another person off the pile, is false reality. Luke, what you think about that video?
I mean, it's interesting hearing the perspective come from, from them. I think it's starting to be an eye opener. And it's interesting you said a high value woman because, we know there are certain traits. I think a lot of people had got caught up with that. I don't like that phrase high value, but there is always a value in everything. You don't walk on a car lot and just say, hey, bring me a car. You're looking for what is valuable to your needs and what you're looking for and what you can afford, what you are able to sustain. Same thing with a house, same thing when you go and you buy it or you are dealing with any kind of transaction. People getting together and getting in relationships is another form of a transaction because there has to be certain agreements for these two parties to come and meet. Hence your Romeo and Juliet. The story of Romeo and Juliet, they parties didn't agree with each other, but they loved each other. So there has to be some kind of agreements for everybody to come in and form itself together. And the young lady was making a great point. If you're valuing yourself off of temporary beauty or a like or a post and things like that, that's not the real essence of life. It's gonna take more, and you're gonna change as you get older, as life happens. We all get older, and we don't look the same. We don't always come off the same. You don't want to build a relationship off of something like that. So small level, yes, beauty is important, but for women, I don't understand why. To me, it's like you're making it more complicated than what it has to be. Because to me, it seemed like the women that get the men and get the real attention. If they put a little cocoa butter, shea butter on. Ain't nothing like when you walk past a woman smelling like cocoa butter. We don't care nothing. We don't even know the names of these eyeshadows and stuff. So
Yeah,
it
cocoa
can't
butter
be for
definitely smell
us.
nice.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that can't be for us. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, you look pretty. Like, yeah, you look nice. But it don't hit us the same way when we smell that cocoa butter. I'm gonna tell you why. When men are looking and courting and dating women, we're usually looking in the mindset of someone we would want to spend time with. And when you're spending time with people, you're gonna find yourself cleaning, cooking, laying together in the bed, and things like that. So when women used to me, they give off this essence of I'm gonna come into your life and I'm going to bring order into your household, so that when you go out and you come back in, that order is still sustained. So yeah, we make the analogy of the shea butter and the cocoa butter, but I'm gonna tell you why that's so powerful for men. when your mama put that shea butter and that cocoa butter on you, she was showing you, I care about you. I'm gonna show you, I want you to be presented to the world a certain way. We come from the woman, so there are certain attributes of caring that we are able to recognize. When your mama will come in and say, "Hey man, clean up your room, put your clothes in the dirty laundry. I'm gonna go wash them for you. I'm gonna make sure it's in the laundry room, right?" Stuff like that. They'll be like, "Well, no, we're not your mom. That's not the point. It doesn't matter. Someone gotta wash the clothes. Someone has to make sure that this household is in decency and in order. Somebody has to do it. The question is on the agreement of the couple. Because if it's the man that's gonna do it, then he gonna do it. If it's the woman that's gonna do it, then she gonna do it. But in the essence of what the young lady is saying is your likes have nothing to do with the real qualifications of sustaining a relationship. No one cares about your likes like that. And when these younger men who are liking all your stuff grow up to become like middle-aged men, you're gonna really see your market has dropped. Because then they don't care no more. Like, it doesn't work like that for us ladies. We're not gonna always be as interested into things like that as we get older. So then what that's gonna end up making you do is having to keep hopping the market to market. And we know you don't want to do that. So if I was y'all, I would just listen to what we like. You look very beautiful with your makeup and we appreciate it. But it will never hit us like that shea butter and that cocoa butter. With that smell, that it's just something about that natural scent of, because we appreciate you all as who you are. All that other stuff is extra to us. The eyelashes, that's extra to us, but we think you beautiful without them. We always have. We always thought y'all was beautiful without all of that. It was just, I guess it was like, I took it as they want to prove it to themselves maybe more, but I've never, Cat Williams said it best. I've never seen a man say, I ain't finna get with her because her fingernails and her toenails don't match. Something wrong there. That ain't stuff that I feel we should be worried about, like off of instances of being in a relationship, bro. No way.
I agree with you. Ladies, please understand we don't care about all that artificial stuff.
Don't.
We just don't.
Love y'all for who y'all are, man. Because things change in life, man. And I wouldn't want to be with somebody either way, Solomon, that like I'm only, oh, she don't look like her Facebook picture 10 years ago. Like, come on, bro. Like, I shouldn't have got with you if I'm just trying to scroll and like, and I think your filter looks good. You ain't gonna walk around in real life with a filter on. If I'm thinking that way, like the young lady said, that sound like dudes that's just trying to smash and stuff like that. That don't sound like no dude that really care about you and trying to build something with you or even get to know you for real.
Ladies, y'all gotta know the difference. That's another thing. Y'all don't be knowing the difference. Y'all just be talking to people, and because they hyped your head up on social media, and they always hype your head up. You know how many? I don't even know the average. That's why I want one of the women to call in too. Give me the average of DMs of men who are sitting here telling you sweet nothings, and you falling for it, and then you realize he just was talking.
Not sweet nothings.
The sweet nothings. Hey, beautiful. How you doing, gorgeous? Whatever that guy that was at you that broke your heart. I seen your status the other day. He broke your heart. I can treat you better.
They be out there like that for real, Solomon.
They be out there like that for real. We have a ask the Pharaoh question. We trying to get our new deacon in. He having some technical difficulties right now. I'm trying to get him in here. He just wanted to come in and show his little support and love for the show real quick. And we out of here, y'all. But yeah, ladies, just make sure that y'all don't fall for the okie doke. Social media, I want y'all to realize how much has like social media has helped a lot of y'all, including us. But when it comes to the Instagram models, y'all know that y'all gotta put Instagram in front of the model word. Not what Drake say, don't tell me you a model if you ain't been in Vogue. If you ain't been in no magazine. He said, where you was modeling at? You weren't on the runway. Where you was modeling at? Instagram? You not a real one. Ooh, that's a hot take. You think Instagram models is real models?
It's a I don't know, because I would have to ask then, does Instagram become invalid?
Oh, hold on,
because
hold
they're
on. We got the deacon to come in. Hold on.
Oh, what's up, man?
What's going on?
What's going on? Definitely was having some issues with getting in at first. Man? I thought I wasn't gonna make it. How y'all
there's
doing?
A will, there's a way.
Absolutely. How y'all feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling great.
Feeling good so far.
I am feeling great.
Okay, well, I did have one question, and it was just kind of related to Kamala Harris, just some of her expectations or the policies. Just wanted to get you guys insight on this. I know one thing that she was talking about recently was people that didn't necessarily have degrees, or they didn't go to school. They were going to be able to maybe get those same government jobs that other people are working so hard to go to school each and every day to obtain those things. So I was just trying to figure out, what do you guys feel about that?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll start it off. So if you're going to give people the same type of positions to people who haven't basically put themselves in debt to get, I don't think that's fair. Like, there's a type of grind that you have to have. There's some type of, I want to say, excitement, or you feel pride, like proudful that you was able to go to school and get a degree that other people could not obtain. Mm-hmm. And so if you telling me Joe Blow off the street can come and steal my position, not steal, but basically I got to compete with somebody who ain't even sat down to get taught this discipline. Remember, people who are going to college are learning a discipline, just like a trade. This is something you supposed to sit down and study for. I don't want nobody who's saying they want to be a doctor and they did not study medicine. I don't want nobody with no expertise in the subject that they trying to get a job in and work in and have a career in, decide they want to come up and take the same position that I took all of these years to study, all of this money in investment, when I could have been doing X, Y, and Z with my money or whatever, or my time. So I think that should not be a thing at all.
Yeah, I would have.
What you was gonna say, Michelle?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Michelle. What you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying. It was definitely like a slap in the face, especially like with me still being in school, pursuing another degree and so forth. Is just like the time that has went past, for me to isolate myself and be able to lock in. But now all of if these other people that have these expectations, or if they have these opportunities right off the gate, like you were saying, that's a slap in the face for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, Misha, because you even think about it, it reminds me of when Joe Biden was talking about the student loan forgiveness, and it's like it sounds good, but then it's always gonna be like, but what about everybody that then went through and paid and worked hard and balanced their budget?
Mhm.
Of course, it is unfortunate that some schools do require so much money, but we also have to be real in the sense there are ways to get that money taken care of. There are ways to handle it if you want it that bad. And Solomon alluded to it. It kind of determines how bad you want to be in the profession. So we may look at the surgeon and say, oh, you spent many hours studying and you spent many years in school, but in order to be a well-fit person in society as well as a surgeon, you learn to pay back your debt. You learn to balance yourself. You learn to becoming a responsible adult, and now you're able to make a lot of money and perform on a lot of people. I wouldn't want nobody just cutting me open just
Mhm.
because I want you to be qualified. Like, go to school, go through experiences, sit under somebody else that's very qualified for a long period of time, and then we can talk about you being by yourself. But just say, hey, they can just do it just because, or it does feel kind of like a backhand to the people that really did put a lot of work in for these things and a lot of time and energy. Because she talked about money, but y'all can't get y'all time back for that.
Mhm.
So like, that's my take on it.
Yeah, me, Shaq. We appreciate the question. Did you have anything else for us? That was a good
Uh,
question. We ain't have a political one. The women been coming up here talking about they man problems and their relationships.
they want to figure that out. They be so emotional and everything, man. Look, there's other things we need to discuss. But I do appreciate you guys even giving me this opportunity to ask a question. So,
No, thank you. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
all right. Well, you guys keep going forward, man. Doing great things. I appreciate you
Yes,
guys.
sir.
I
Yes,
appreciate you,
sir. We
Deacon.
appreciate you as well, man.
All right.
That was
There
cool.
we go.
That was fun.
That was a great question. Great question
Yeah,
for
that
right
was a
before
great
it was the
question.
election time too. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
for the
was.
viewers. For the viewers, before we close out, for the viewers who don't know, y'all watch out for that great man. That's a great man right there. That was just asking that question. Hard working young man. So we trying to bring positive energy and the right type of energy to the podcast. So it's good to have people who appreciate it and got good questions like that. That was great.
Well, family, this was episode 25. Whew, we getting up there. Of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon. You can find me Facebook at Cornelius Solomon Walker, Instagram CJ Walker 103. And if you want to get your book published, you can email me at cwalker1582@gmail.com. Luke, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me at Luke733 leading the number 9 at gmail.com. Definitely hit us up on the Pharaohs Podcast Gmail if you got any questions. Also, please definitely keep your ear out for that 100 subscribers deal we got coming up. We're looking forward to that. I'm glad Solomon got a chance to express it and introduce it to everybody. So go ahead, get acquainted with the email, send us some love. If you got some questions, put it down there. But you can find me here. We're going to be here again next Monday, same time. Tell a friend, share, like, subscribe. Matter of fact, just have a whole little get together party, get some wine. I gotta say, this how Israel will say it. He'll say, get some wine, just get your friends over. And y'all just y'all just listen to us. And you just talk about how you can't stand what we talking about. Like whatever it takes. That's how my
I
brother will
love
do it.
those comments too.
Yes. We appreciate you all though. We'll see you all next week.
All right, family. Peace.
Peace.